Hello and welcome to Born in a Barn at Folio Weekly Magazine. I'm Rob Nicholson. Today, I am delighted to bring you an artist that is coming to town. We'll be here on February 11th. She does blues, rock, soul, funk. She is amazing, award-winning. Vanessa Collier, welcome to Born in a Barn at Folio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I have not had the opportunity to meet you in person. I'm looking forward to it. But everything I've read about you, everybody goes off about your live shows and just what an experience that is. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So I think one of the things that caught me in college was I loved Bonnie Raitt. I got introduced to her music, her early music in my college years, like right after college. And you hear her on a record and it's amazing and it gives you goosebumps, and then you hear her live and you're like, oh my gosh, how did she get better? So that's kind of always been my standard, is I want to make the records amazing, but also when you come to see me live, I want you to experience something completely different and hopefully on the next level. And so my whole thing has been trying to make people feel good and feel energized and feel lighter than when they came, so hopefully that whole blues tradition of sort of like singing your woes out makes you lighter. And I love to bring the fire and the funk and just kind of like the depths of my soul to everything. So that's pretty much what we try and do every show.
Well, it sure appears that way. Jacksonville Beach is home to it's the Southeast largest free blues festival every year, now that we're back from the pandemic. So I think you'll find a lot of your listeners here as well. So your performance is coming up on Saturday, February the 11th, and that's at the Blue Jay Listening Room, which everybody in town knows that's the place to go to listen to music. Now, you started when you talked about your beginning. You started in college or at Berkeley. I know you were influenced at age 11, but Berkeley College of Music in Boston. You got 2 degrees from there?
I did. So I went in, arrived at Berkeley first week, and I was intent on being a jazz saxophonist. Didn't sing, didn't do anything else, and that was like what I thought my path was. And by the end of my first week at Berkeley, I was like, no, I really like this music production and engineering degree. So I set my sights on doing both a performance degree and a music production and engineering degree, which has come in so much handy just because on the road, you got to know what everything does. You have to know what a compressor is and how to EQ your saxophone so that it sounds the way you want out front, or be able to convey that information. And so that was just a goal of mine. After being introduced with a music tech class in high school, I was like, oh, this stuff is like up my alley. My brain kind of loves the engineering side of things and pulling things apart and seeing if I can put them back together. So it's kind of song construction. It's all engineering in some way. So I was fortunate to go for 4 years and finish a dual degree program in those 4 years.
Now you're currently on tour, 4-month tour, on your sixth recording. It's a live record, live at Power Station. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So just kind of as we were talking about the live set, from day one almost, I would say since my second record came out, people are like, man, your records are great, but live is this whole other thing. And so I had this intention from back then to create this record, this live record that would be filmed in front of a small studio audience, or a small audience somewhere. And hopefully just capture the live set, make it feel good, and make that come across on a record, which can be difficult. So we recorded this whole thing in April 21st and 22nd in Power Station Studios in New York City, and captured the whole live set. So
when I was crossing over the bridges to get here, sweating like a pig and singing like an angel.
Yes.
You like to have fun with yourself. You don't take yourself too seriously.
I don't. I really think that, humor is something we need more of in life. I think to laugh does more for your physiology than anything. And to be surrounded by people that will laugh with you too. So that's a big part of how I try and build my community. And and it comes across in my songwriting. I like witty and lighthearted stuff that also still has a driving message.
Now, you also like to take your message to children and work with children in schools. Tell me more about that, how you do that.
Yeah, so I think, I've always been a teacher. I studied with this great saxophonist, Chris Fadala, and his whole thing was like, yeah, your performance chops have to be up, but also understand that most people that perform also teach, and it only informs your playing. So, I mean, I started teaching saxophone lessons like the end of my 8th grade year, and I continued through today. But then I got approached, I feel like it was like 2017, 2018. I got approached to do this program called Blues in the Schools. And so I was like, I don't know what that is, but absolutely sign me up. And so we went down to Alabama, was the first one. And it was literally just a performance for kids and just talking about, like getting after. That one in particular was about following your passions and doing what you love, and like realizing that there's more to life than just a paycheck, and that you have to find what makes you happy. So those were sort of our talking points on that. And each one has been different, but each one is so much fun. Like that one, we had like 80 kids up on stage dancing to the T-Bone Shuffle, like, rocking out to this blues. It was awesome. And everyone has been different. Sometimes it's just me, sometimes it's duo, sometimes it's full band. But really the message is, there's so much that says you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be, you have to get the house with the picket fence and whatever, and the 2.5 kids, right? It's like that's the whole thing. But really, everyone's life is different. Everyone is different. Everyone's needs are different. So, I try and just express that whatever you are, whatever you decide to do in life, whether it be an artist or whether it be a financial advisor, you have to do something that you love. And then it's really not work. I mean, that's the hope. That's my hope for everyone coming up, is that they just find joy in everything,
Do what you love and call it work.
Come on now.
Vanessa, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. We really cannot wait to have you here in Jacksonville Beach. You've been to Jacksonville, but hadn't been to the beach yet. So I'm hoping for really nice, mild weather so you can get out and take a nice salty walk before you go on stage. It's a pleasure to have you here. Vanessa will be here on Saturday, perfect night, February 11th. Vanessa, have a great day and a great the rest of your tour, and we'll see you on the 11th.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
For Born in a Barn at Folio Weekly Magazine, I'm Rob Nicholson.